the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators were 7th in the Atlantic with a 33-42-7 record, which was 73 points. 13th in the East and 26th in the league last season. Their head coach is DJ Smith. So the Ottawa Senators lost Chris Tierney, Adam Gaudette, Victor Mata, goalie Matt Murray, goalie Philip Gustafson. That's all of them. Connor Brown. They signed Claude Giroux, Josh Norris, Matthew Joseph, Eric Brandstrom, and Jimmy Stutzel. Signed this week to an 8-year, $66.8 million contract, $8.3 million AAV. Loved this. I think all the internet loved it too. Notable UFAs, Alex Formenton, 18 goals and 14 assists last season, and Tyler Ennis, 8 goals and 16 assists last season. I kind of want to see if both of them come up. I think, I'm thinking about someone else. No, well, I was thinking about Alex Formenton. I think he was up there with like one of the best players in shorthanded goals. I think he's got like 16 or some crazy shit. But their trades here, they've made a few, so buckle up here. The Senators traded their 2022 first-round, second-round picks, as well as their 2024 third-round pick to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Alex DeBrincat. They traded Matt Murray, the 2023 third-round pick, and 2024 seventh-round pick to the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for future considerations. They traded goalie Philip Gustafson to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for Cam Talbot. I think they made away with that. Cam Talbot wanted to move after Fleury took that starting spot in Minnesota, so I want to go back to that. Lastly, they traded Connor Brown to the Washington Capitals in exchange for the 2024 second-round pick. So a lot of these were trading picks and picking up some picks along with some goalies here. I honestly think they fucking made away with that Philip Gustafson Cam Talbot trade. I think Cam Talbot might be better goalie in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree, and I think moving on from Matt Murray too is probably a smart move.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they kind of ate it when they initially traded for him, but that's a decent gamble. I would have probably traded for him back then too. The one thing that I just wanted to chime in on too, thinking back on it, like being traded as a player for future considerations has to be the most disrespectful. Like, put that on the bulletin board, motivate me for the rest of my life, kind of shit. Like.
Right.
You get the news like, oh, we actually traded you over to this team, blah, 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 right? It's like, oh, well, who'd you trade? What'd you get for me kind of thing? They're like, future considerations. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you got nothing? You just wanted, you either wanted to get me the fuck out of this organization or you think I'm worth nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's got to be something that Matt Murray's putting on the bulletin board, putting like a way better team in front of him this season and saying like, fuck those guys.
That might be a like fire under your ass type of shit.
Has
like,
to be.
Hey, listen, like I know I haven't been playing up to my potential in a while now, and the fact that I am now this goalie that won the Stanley Cup to a guy that is worth so little that I could just be traded to future considerations. Yeah,
I think that alone would make me circle the game on the calendar when Toronto plays Ottawa. You know what I mean? As Matt Murray, I'd be like, fuck those guys. I'm starting that night. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like the way I like how Ottawa looks there, even though they're seventh in the division last season. But they picked up. I like this Alex DeBrincat pickup. I think a lot of teams are gonna be what's the word I'm looking at? Picking up a bunch of players from the Chicago Blackhawks because Chicago Blackhawks
having a yard sale.
Oh my God, you can pick up whoever the hell you want. Jonathan Toews is up there too if you want him. But DeBrincat, loved him on the Chicago Blackhawks here. So with the Chicago Blackhawks, he had 41 goals, which is actually team best, and 37 assists last season, which is a career high with the Blackhawks. So I mean, great pickup for the Ottawa Senators. So again, this guy is just I don't know. This organization is kind of looking pretty good after this offseason.
I think it's another puzzle, man. Like they got all these pieces. They got to make sure that they click together, and I can't get in on them. Like they are a do nothing for me kind of team. Very boring kind of, to watch. But I am gonna put it out there right now that I guarantee I'm gonna watch 3 Ottawa Senators games this season because I don't know shit about this team. And I really want to dive in a little deeper on them and watch how they play. A guy like Matthew Joseph on the third line, I'm very interested in him. Prospect from Tampa Bay, I believe. Drake Batherson, another pretty big stud around the league, but I don't know too much about him. Kind of flies under the radar. And just to see how these top 2 lines click together with Claude Giroux sliding in with Stützle and DeBrincat, like, I don't know. I need to, shape up on this team. I don't have any interest in doing it just because They don't do it for me. You know what I mean? Something about all of these Canadian teams, any of the Canadian teams, just like there's no real fire, no real interest and desire to me. Other than I'll say the Toronto Maple Leafs. That team looks so interesting on paper, but I fucking hate the Leafs. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I can't stand the drama, the flair, the show, the lights. I don't know.
The more we talk about this, the more I'm kind of like biting my head here with where I have him on the list, because I'm just thinking of I watched a few highlights from the Ottawa Senators this afternoon, and
dude, you got to be kidding me.
Anton Forsberg, what?
You have spots 1, 2, and 8 open.
Yeah.
So you're saying you put him too high or too low?
Too low.
All right, good. I thought you put him in the top 2. I was like, Jesus Christ.
No.
I would have to sign off right now and leave.
Yeah, see you later. Anton Forsberg was just the guy that came in to fill in for Matt Murray's shoes there, because Matt Murray could not get it done. I can't remember who the hell they were playing. I think it was Ottawa Senators versus the New York Rangers. And the Senators just looked great all around against the Rangers. It was just Matt Murray just letting in like these softies. And I'm like, oh, as a team that is so fucking deflating. Like, I understand like having like a great just chemistry with your team, but your goalie cannot get the job done. So now the fact that Matt Murray's gone, you have Cam Talbot that can get shit done, and then you have Antoine Forsberg, who proved last season that he could be that backup to get stuff done too for the Ottawa Senators. I think we're going to see a different team for the Ottawa.
And you know what's funny? It's the mirror image of Matt Murray going to the Maple Leafs. Cam Talbot coming over from the Wild is circling the game against Minnesota because he's like, you think Fleury's a starter over me? Fuck you. I'm going to go start in Ottawa.
Yep.
And I'm going to circle that game on the calendar and beat you guys, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
I think there's a lot of different storylines that are going to come to fruition this season, too.
A lot of redemption arcs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'll say where I have him now. I have him in 8th in the Atlantic, and I'm kind of, now I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of regretting that spot.
Yes and no. I mean, I have them 6, but at the end of the day, there isn't too much that separates any of these teams, I'll say. Like last season, you saw it. Here's the standings. Like I said, those 3 that are 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even above that, there's an 8-point gap between 2, 3, and 4. The Canadians were just a suck tank, and the Panthers, you couldn't reach them. So I just think that there's a lot of room for these teams to flip-flop a tiny bit. So, and even the tiny shifts can move them from 4 seats lower to 4 seats higher. So
this might be a team that's going to shock one of us.
I have them in the 6th seed, so we kind of got our bases covered a little bit. You know,
it's gonna.
I definitely don't think they're making the playoffs.
No, I don't think
so. I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah, I think they still got a few seasons behind them before they can even like grasp just getting into the playoffs.
But I do think that I am gonna be a man of my word and watch 3 Senators games this season.
Okay.
Just because it's a team that could be interesting. You know what I'm going to do?
Definitely Ottawa versus
I was just going to say Ottawa, Toronto, and Ottawa, Minnesota are now on the list.
Yep.
And now I just have to pick a third game, and they probably play those teams again, but I'll switch it up a little bit,
2 Ottawa Canadians.
Montreal? Why?
I don't know, because they're like 2 of the worst.
That's a good point. A good good comparison to see who's further along the rebuilding process.
Because you can't really compare. Like, if you watch, like, say, last season, you can't really compare watching like a Florida Panthers Montreal Canadiens game, and you're just like, no, it's even better. But if you're watching, like, again, Montreal Canadiens versus the Ottawa Senators the last season, you'd be like, oh, okay, I could see where they're missing, what they need, Yeah,
it's good. So I got my 3 games. I'm gonna watch those, and maybe I'll do a little review action for you fans, so you know that I actually watched and kept my word.
Love it. Got to write that down, date it. Maybe I should do 3 specific games too and do the same thing.
Yeah, maybe pick a different team though. Maybe a team that you don't like really give a shit about that you think like maybe I should this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's me with the Senators. Like I have no interest in them.
Yeah.
But now on paper, I'm like they're kind of interesting. Like I should check them out.